share this about. Sorry, everybody. You all know how it goes. I'll tell you one thing, then something else happens. Let's get this. Man, 4 champions crowned this weekend, Ross. 2 in GCFFA, 1 here in OMFFL, 1 over in Washington County. Killer Bees already crowned. Shout out to our back wall real quick. I always love to give a shout out to our back wall. This week's jerseys, your OMFFL and OC champion Rampage. As always, the Chris Severino flag. Shout out to Sev. Shout out to GCFFA. They just had a championship. Unfortunately, we don't got a Punisher's jersey to rep yet. But if Eric or any other one up north or anywhere else across the country want to send in their 9-man jersey or even a semi-pro jersey, we do that on Thursday nights. Send it on me to Joey Blaze. Inbox me for information. We'll hang it on the back wall whenever your team is up for that weekend or win anything. Pay tribute, shout out. We take flags. We take anything. We appreciate our donors over the years. Ocean City flag given to us by Mr. Dimitri Thompson at the Ocean City Classic this past year. Shout out to Dimitri and the XFFL. The middle flag, Severino, given to us by Mr. Jamie Wolf down at Nationals. A true honor to receive that flag from Wolf.
Yeah.
Shout out to Rampage, given to us by Mr. John Regan back when he was with Rampage. Broad Axe given to us by the captain, Mr. Tom Hoffman. The blue TBT shirt.
That's mine.
Yeah, we just kind of.
That's mine.
We just literally threw one on.
Shout out to Joey Blaze.
Shout out to me, I guess. Yeah. Shout out to Warrior Collars, man. The alumni shirts. I gotta get more of those out. I gotta get more of those out. Killer Bees, Mr. Keith Giles jersey. KFFL champions. We got one more champion to still crown in this 2021 spring season. That's down at MFFL. That's going to be in 2 weeks. I'll be down there at Tucker Road for that. For anybody looking to catch that. There we go. Love it when the audio kicks in. Every single time, Ross. Share it around. Really looking forward to it. Like I said, if you got your jersey ready for a back wall, anybody in MFFL next week for their playoffs, let me know. We'll be doing a show for them next week, talking about that. The question can be, can Rampage go 2 for 2 in league playoffs? That's a feat if they can make that happen. Like, I don't believe anybody has ever won OMFFL and MFFL in the same season on terms of teams. No team has ever done that. And they have an opportunity. They went 1 for 1. Now they have a chance to go 2 for 2. We'll see how they do in a few weeks. I'll be down there at Tucker Road. Ross, if you end up going, let me know. I'm not sure what the schedule I got yet is. I'm going to be working on that as soon as I see the playoff format. Oh, we already got a member of Rampage coming in, Mr. Craig Pettit. And throughout this broadcast, we're going to be going ahead. We're going to be replaying playoffs. I was going to do this earlier, but didn't have the setup correct. We had to rescue some strays we're finding in the backyard. Some kittens popping up. But didn't have the setup correct. We had to rescue. There we go. I hear myself. That's how I know you're live. How you doing, Craig?
There we go. We're live. We're live. You hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
There it is.
We're going to be going over playoff video while we're doing this. No audio, just the clips.
Oh, good.
Watch it.
Appreciate you having me.
Appreciate you coming on, man. Glad to have you on. Hey, you guys, what a year Rampage is having in 2020. There were some questions about Rampage after the end of last Nationals, where they were going, what direction. I think the questions are over. Right now, there is no doubting where Rampage stands on terms of the DMV right now. They've won Ocean City, beat Baez Auto for that championship, but in the same time, they took down the Bad Boys and the Titans, as well as 717 Elite and Dirty Birds. AC semifinalists fell to a very good ride-out team. Looking back at AC, What did you take from that game going into the game of Rideout on Sunday? Semifinal OMFFL.
I think the one thing we took from it now, I think a lot of people didn't even realize was, going towards the end of that game, we lose 6-2, and as a team, we're all kind of frustrated. How do you lose a flag football game 6-2? But I think from the outside, what we didn't realize is, Rideout only gave up 6 points that whole tournament before they played us, I think. Or at least that's what we heard.
Actually, I believe they had donuts all the way through the first 5 games.
Yeah. So, they gave up
shutouts that weekend. And then
they gave up donuts the whole weekend. That's impressive stuff. No matter how good we think we are and other teams think they are offensively. The whole point is to score, but only 6 points is impressive. The 2 points we did get was from our defensive side, and unfortunately it didn't go the way we wanted it. But I think the one thing we took from that definitely was just revenge. Nothing against Rideout or anything like that. They're a great team. They do a lot of good things defensively and offensively. But I think for us, we wanted to go out there and kind of show for us that Atlantic City could have been different if we did a couple things, better. But
looking over the film right now, how much of this did you get a chance to watch on the sideline between Benham and Bulls? Because this was a game where the Bulls had a lot of opportunities to blow Benham out. They were in the red zone a lot in this game. Ross, you were there on that field. Yeah. Craig, did you get a chance to check out that Benham Bulls game on the sideline?
I think I watched the second half of it. I want to say when they walked back out the second half, I got to see it. Actually, we played the Bulls. I want to say before Atlantic City, we got a chance to play the Bulls. I actually like what they have going on over there. They got a lot of young guys, and they have a lot of energy, and they're a big hustle team. When we played them early in the regular season, they jumped out 14-0 on us quick. And we were, kind of walking in. I think it was right after the Ocean City, tournament victory. And I think we just walked out thinking we were high and mighty, and these guys came out of nowhere.
To be fair, you had just played the championship that night prior in Ocean City.
Yeah. And everybody knows that we were all out there till midnight. I don't think people got home till 2-3 o'clock in the morning. But those guys, they got a lot of stuff going on for them. The young team. I think as their experience grows, I think they're going to be all right. They got something growing over there. I like it. I like playing against those guys, the young, athletic, talk a lot of smack. I enjoy it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how they're going to grow throughout the year. That's the one thing I will say about OMFFL, elite aside, which happens. All 9 teams in this playoff are circuit teams. They play on the circuit on the A or B level. And this year, there was a nice balance of that. Rawson was wiped out on this boy. Wow. We need more small, agile guys for live streamers. Us former linemen, I don't know what the best bet for that. Yeah, we got some nimble feet sometimes. We can move around. But yeah, the thing about this league is everybody plays on the circuit, and everybody's matching up each week against A and B squads. It's that combination and mix that I think will keep growing this league and making it better, because you have Benham going out there playing against you guys and Bulls. And it's been a season where Benham's taken a lot of lumps. They've gotten some wins out there on the circuit. We've seen them travel. They were a semifinalist in the C bracket at Ocean City, following the AFN. Tough draw in that Final Four against a veteran team. They did get a victory, however, over the Washington County champion Broadaxe in that wild card game earlier that day. So that's a pretty marquee win for them. But, you look at overall, for 1 through 9, this league is just very close. You look at that Rampage Venom game, which we talked on a little bit, that game was literally 7-0. That was a dogfight. We're going to shift over now. They're showing the quarterfinals, Bad Boys, Titans. Right out the gate,
right out the gate. This was a nice battle. Like every time these two teams play, it's been a really good game to be a part of. Going back to when they faced off twice at Clash of York last year, had the benefit of being at that game. Eddie difference maker every time he comes out there.
Yeah, Bad Boys, they got some dudes out there. And I actually, I really, really like Jaleel at quarterback. I kind of talk to him every now and then after each game. We go back and forth. He told me he's been struggling a little bit, but I think Jaleel is with his arm and his legs. I mean, he's a problem. Obviously you see here he's making mistakes, but he can go out there and kind of reminds me of almost like a Brett Favre type dude. He might go out there and throw 4 touchdowns and win you the game, or he might go out there and make a couple mistakes and burn himself. But he's definitely a force to be reckoned with. And I like on the offensive side, Bad Boys got a lot of guys too. With Eddie and
Zach. Can't forget Zach.
Yeah, and Zach, and I forget one guy's name. I talked to him too after the game.
For a long time, and that offense, you see the difference when Eddie Thomas gets in there. Like how much it's just a way different offense overall. He's one of those players. I think he's got a big play coming up here in a moment.
Really?
Yeah. You say really, as in like
Willie.
Oh, Willie. Okay. Sorry, my hearing's bad, Ross. Rivers a pick. Scarborough on the pick here.
Those are 2 D-line picks right there, back to back.
Yeah, this was liberal.
The flag. The biggest play of the game caused by 2 of the oldest players on the field.
Fuck this shit, beat.
I love it. Yeah, kind of
Fired up.
Yeah, he was hyped. He ended up I can't remember how to get the ball back. I think this was the next big play that came up in the game. This was an incredible game from start to finish. And you got to give it up for the Maryland Titans. Like they went through a gauntlet Sunday as well as the No Mercy Scorpions on that side of the bracket. That was a very, very tough bracket overall when you take a look at it on terms of the competition in there. You got No Mercy, the defending OMFFL champions, Misfits, the defending Washington County champions, who brought out the best of the best from our area, the 4-state region over here. Dude, Ross, you want to hear this? You want to hear the weapons and the skill position Misfits had? Yeah, Chris Boone at quarterback. Then you throw in Tay Sosa, Cannon Hall, Wayne, Justin Fox was there. Hugh, yeah. Lurie, Isaiah Keys, Tyler, who was our number 1 receiver on TBT last season when we won KFFL. Shout out to defending KFFL, well, former, unfortunately, champions. That's a pretty loaded offense. And that's a hard, and the team overall was just built. I have to say, like, on terms of a team mostly from our area, it was probably the best team that had ever been assembled to be bring into a tournament. But you had to go against the defending OMFFL champions to boot. Now you take a look at it. Bad Boys, who last year around this time, or not even just that, but like 6-7 months ago, Renegades and Aftermath played in a competitive championship game at Clash of York that was just an absolute dogfight shootout from start to finish between those two. And then you throw in the Maryland Titans, who I could argue is the most improved team after last season. This is a team that has turned it around 100%. And they've always brought it, but I think this season they have definitely took it to a whole other level. And they're up there as well. And that bracket was tough. That was, and you could tell, like, the heat didn't help as well. Like, it was a long day. And you guys actually finished earlier than we did on that other field. You guys were done about what? I want to say half an hour, 45 minutes, an hour before we got done. Because that No Mercy Titans game went 3 overtimes.
Yeah, it might have went 4 overtimes. I know we got done. We figured we had about 10, 15 minutes, and we waited for about 45 minutes till the game started.
He was over there crushing the chicken leg or something. I saw him over there crushing the old Fred Ted.
You guys been getting used to waiting all year. What was it like 3 days you had to wait for the Baez Auto Championship at OC?
Something like that. I'm pretty sure everybody went back to the hotel and came back.
Yeah, like we had to get a couple extra days, and
We could have drove back to Baltimore, back to OC, and then played.
That'd be cool. That'd be wild. To see a team do something like that, that'd be wild.
Hey, I mean, I've seen guys go all the way from a tournament game to another game somewhere else and back to the tournament. Yeah, guys put in the work. Here we go. We're on Rampage and Venom. What was it that Venom did, in your opinion, to make this the game it was? Because this was a fantastic performance that was underlooked during the day. Like, Venom kept it very close throughout. 7-0 being the final. And you got to think of 1 seed versus 9 seed usually might be a bit of a disparity. This was a very close matchup that could have gone both ways. What were your thoughts, Greg?
It was for defensively, of course we did what we needed to do and we kept them to 0. But I think for them, our offense and our eyes, we made a lot of mistakes. And everybody's going to say, every offense, we're not going to say that they just did better than us. We feel that we made some crucial mistakes. We're in the red zone 2 or 3 times, turn the ball over. That's a cardinal rule. We can't do that. And then other than that, I think the Venom, they did a good job. They hustled. They were scrappy. They made the plays that counted. They didn't, for example, when the ball was thrown to them, we made an error and threw a pick, they capitalized on it. They weren't dropping picks or, playing any games. They were doing real good at pulling flags. The only point we scored was a good ball to Chico and a little, out route. And he just did what he did and made people miss. And that's really the only reason, we had the point we had. Other than that, we felt we were moving the ball up and down the field. We just weren't capitalizing and made some crucial errors and, kind of made ourselves sweat a little bit as the 1 seed. You're kind of expecting that to be a nice little relaxing game. But those guys came out and, they made it a dogfight.
Yeah, that was overall. That was a really good game. What did you think, Ross, being over there filming it? I was mostly skimming through it when I went to edit it earlier. A lot of good defensive highlights. What did you think watching it?
Definitely good defensive game.
I also want to say I'm overlooking in this game for Misfits bad receiving score. Like, throw in Haney, throw in Al. Like, gosh, this team. This was an awesome offense to look at from the perspective of someone who's watched these guys for a long time. Yeah. But going back to my question about Venom, real quick, we'll wrap that up. This one will roll for a little bit. It's a long game. Very good one at that, too. Biggest key for Scorpions, in my opinion, was they ran the ball. They ran the clock down extremely well in that game. That's what really kept the Misfits at bay, was they ran that clock and played possession, that old school veteran ball of, we're going to go out there. We know our defense can go against your offense, but at the same time, we're also going to take as much time as we can and take you out of your rhythm. Because Chris Boone, once he gets in a rhythm, he is very hard to stop. And you look at what he's done over the years and what he brings to the table. Look at this game alone. Like, look at that player right alone. That pitch right back to Tay. Bad shot by me on here. Chris Boone in this 4th quarter plays some of his best ball offensively that I've seen him play. And I've watched Chris Boone since he started his 9-man career 4 years ago over here, Marty Snook. Third to left side, Tay. Good Lord. This play. Tay is ridiculous. Your thoughts on this Misfits offense, having faced off against them a few times, whether it be in week 1 or in the offseason?
These guys, everybody knows a couple of these guys actually play with Rampage. These guys are dangerous.
Yes.
Boone
right there on that run. That's
just with some of the guys you named, Big Dehaney, Tay, Boone, Cannon, Larry. You can go on and on with some of the guys they have. They're dangerous. I think they got every single one of those guys could, are guys that can make big plays, turn 3rd and 20s into first downs and, first and shorts into touchdowns. And I mean, they got guys that can make plays all over the field. And you see guys like Tay, they got guys playing either both sides of the ball, or they can do more than one thing on the offense or the defense. And I have nothing but respect for all the Misfits guys that I played with before. Every time we play them, it's a dogfight, but we like to talk our shit too.
Yeah.
They truly are Misfits.
Oh man, this play. Look at us Wayne downfield. Misfits did not give up in this game. Like this was all in the final 2 minutes from that first Misfits touchdown that I played just now with Al was literally all a minute and a half of football, the kickoff included. That's how fast all of that happened. Tim on the extra point, he makes this one. Tim had a rough day, and I feel Tim's made a lot. He's definitely come back in a big way the last few years. One of the best kickers to come out of the 4-state area of all time. Add more to the talent. Then you just take a look at just how loaded this team is. Like overall, throw in like even Isaiah Keys and the work he's done and played. Like this Misfits team kept it close and they played tough. They have nothing to be ashamed of. This is a tough first round draw with the Scorpions. This is one of those tough circuit A games. They're literally going against an A team right now in that quarterfinal first round matchup. This is a practice for what they're going to face come Charm City Classic. And in this occasion, the miss kick here by Tim just shanks it right there, very close to getting the win. Scorpions overall in this game, like they start moving the ball very well in the second half. Fourth quarter, the pace worked. They were already on, they weren't scoring. Bug just flew right in my face. Get off me, bro. Yeah, put that right back at you. That happened the other week.
Right back at you.
Yeah, he is. He don't like me very much. Yeesh. It's summertime, guys, and we're in a garage. We apologize.
It'd be like that.
Yeah. At least it's not a cicada.
And we got AC.
Yeah, it's good. This is a good game, though. Right out Elite Rebels. You get a chance to check that one out?
I did. And I got so much respect for the Rebels. I love playing those guys. I feel like every time it's tournament or league ball, we're always playing them somewhere. They're same kind of mentality. I mean, they're a scrappy team. They got explosive athletes. I know TJ, their usual quarterback, wasn't there, but their quarterback that's playing now, in my opinion, he's, definitely number 2, if not number 1 for their receiver core over there. A big guy, he's athletic. I didn't even know he could run around and play quarterback like that. For him to come in and try to get rolling and, probably one of his few games playing quarterback on that team. And he comes in, you see right there, throwing a touchdown and keeping his team in a dogfight against a really good rideout team. I give that guy a lot of respect, and I give that team a lot of respect too.
Yeah,
Tavon's my man.
That was just a beautiful play.
Dangerous. That boy's dangerous too.
Your thoughts for us watching this game on the field or watching it now on replay? Yeah, this is another really tough. This just tells you how deep this league is. Like, you think about it, just the names alone you're drawing in the first round of a playoff. You're going against Rideout, you're going against Elite Rebels, Misfits, No Mercy, Rampage, Titans, Bad Boys, Venom, and all 9 are at the very least within the top 30, 35 range of the country overall. When it comes to the teams out there on the circuit, they can all compete on a high level. And it just shows you how deep this league really is. This truly was like a tournament Sunday. This wasn't a regular day out in the league. Yeah, this wasn't like a regular day out in league ball with your buddies drinking after the fact. This was a come out play. Well, I know Rampage got turned up after the fact. I know y'all were ready to party afterwards.
We were definitely ready to party. I think a lot of us ready to go home and and either drink or go to bed too. It was a long day.
Yeah. The overtime added a whole other game to it. I believe both overtimes ran. About the game, yeah. Something like that. It depends
What's up,
on
Troy?
us.
What's going on, Craig? What's going on, Joey?
Hey, how you doing, Troy?
What's going on?
Not much. Whatever film. We're about halfway through. We're in the quarterfinal. Ride out, Elite Rebel. Did you get a chance to see this game?
Yes, I watched a little bit of it. I noticed that T.J. Holston wasn't playing quarterback. I figured that
Yeah.
Rhino probably will
My
win the
man-
game by T.J. Holston not playing QB.
Our man's was at a bachelor party. Wasn't even
Okay.
bad timing,
I
unfortunately.
gave Ride out I figured
You're muted.
that I'm starting QB in a big playoff game like that.
They play competitive against Ride Out. Like the Elite Rebels did very well despite missing.
They definitely did.
And it's tough against this Ride Out defense that has proven to everybody like it's playing on an A level. Like Ride Out's defense has been insane for this season. Yeah.
Yes, their defense is great. They haven't gave it. What was it? The Atlantic City tournament where they didn't give us any points the whole tournament into the championship game. Besides the 2 points we got on defense, Bravado defense has been playing lights out.
Yeah, it's insane the level like this team has been playing. Like they're going to be playing A ball at Charm City Classic, and I want to see how they're going to match up if they draw one of the top teams coming down from up north, whether it be the Big Four main event, Punishers, Strong Island, or Lions are actually Rollers actually coming down, whatever they're going to look like at this point. I want to see how Rideout's going to measure up because they played in a high level for a while. They've always been a borderline A team. I'm looking forward to seeing with what looks to be, in my opinion, honestly, their best team in a long time. Like I think this is one of those teams that has a potential to make a run, and depending on where they're at, they definitely have a shot come nationals, going for a championship.
Yeah. You know the difference between A and B is just the trenches. If you got them trenches right, then you could do anything with them trenches, with the offensive line and the defensive line.
Facts, absolute facts. And with the veteran experience this team brings to the table, that's going to come in key as well, because they're going to be ready for the matchups they're going to face, despite the fact that flag football has evolved over the years and what's happening right now is on a whole other level. But in my opinion, as I've seen all year, DMV is definitely catching up in the A game. That is an absolute fact. And that's something where we know Rampage is 2 of the last DMV A champions in the tournament.
Yes. A lot of people wonder keep asking why the Rampage not going A. What we scared to play A? We not rushing to play A. We not doing what people want us to do. We're doing what's best for our team. We trying to build something to be not just going to A, get beat on and stuff like that. We trying to build something to go to A and be competitive and compete every single game, not just going there and just lose and just give our money away. We don't want to do that.
I like the approach.
We want to go into A.
100%.
We want to go into A ready.
Because while people will disparage the fact that Rampage doesn't play in A, I will point out to everybody, they have the last two DMV A championships in the tournament. Capital Classic 2019, Mason-Dixon Classic 2018. They won both of them, beating Scorpions in 7-point spread. Ross, you faced Rampage at that Hagerstown tournament in 2018 on that Saturday for Gentleman Rush.
Long time ago.
I believe that was your first A game, correct?
That was my first game.
Yeah.
My first home game ever.
Yeah, you played Hagerstown 2018?
Yeah.
I missed out on that one, unfortunately. No Mercy Titans. This was – I felt for the players on the field by this point because the heat had gotten to its peak for the day. And nice. By this point of the day, the heat becomes a major factor for all parties. And I think for Scorpions, this game completely killed them all together. Like You have to go through two battles.
No, put that down.
And Titans. And while they came out fighting early on with you guys in that championship, I think you guys with the experience and how you've gone through the tournament so far, you guys, both you guys and the Scorpions are battle tested in all this. I think more so than any other team because you guys are out there playing triple headers at OMFFL and MAPL every single week.
Yes, every week. Every week we've been playing 3 games every single week. And not only that, I figure I wanted them, if they could have, I would have wanted them to go into 6 overtime. The tie that they get would be the better for us. So they could have went into 6, 7 overtimes. Keep playing. Keep getting yourself tired. Keep running up and down the field. I'll watch y'all. Y'all gonna get tired. We fresh. We kind of tired from the heat, but we're actually fresh because we haven't been on the field running around and stuff. So if they would have went to 6, 7 overtimes, I wouldn't even mattered at all. It just would have gave us a better shot at winning.
That's the thing. In my honest opinion, some people will say that sitting for a while can cause a disadvantage. But with Rampage, they stay prepared. I go back to the Ocean City tournament. They sat for a long time. It was about 5:30 when we finished the Bad Boys game, 5:45-ish. And we all got to the cars and, you know, you got to go through that 30-minute drive where you got to hope that nothing happened on the bridge on the way over or anywhere else that causes you to be delayed in the event of a championship. Because now it's a factor of getting there. And then when you get there, when I arrived, we were still in the quarterfinals for B. Baez was playing against Riot Squad. To put in perspective, like how long it took. Yeah. And then they had a game with Brick Squad that almost went even longer, where Brick Squad was very close to winning that game at the very end. Yeah.
We sat for about 3 hours. I'd say about 3 hours, about a 3-hour wait before we played our next game.
Yeah, and you guys even got a heater out at one point. There was a heater on the field. I remember that.
Yes, that's Chris Price. Chris Price is clutch. Him and his wife, Jennifer, they bring that heater out in that tent one at a time. That thing is clutch, I'm telling you.
Yeah, that's
in apartments, in Rampage apartment.
Those come in handy, especially when fall season comes around. Because it's going to be an even bit.
Yes, sir.
It's going to be a very cold fall ahead. I get to feel the way that he's been this summer. But you talk about how well prepared this Rampage team is, and I feel like those long wait times don't factor in. Nothing affects them. They're ready to go no matter what the game is, when the game is. It could be 2 a.m. on a Tuesday morning against whoever. They'll be ready to go. They'll be fired up. They might be a little tired, but they're going to go up and win the game either way because the way this team has dominated all spring, like, they are on a whole other level. And you throw out this A and B discussion. That's the one thing that I'm kind of wanting and looking at is the fact that Charm City, with all the teams in there playing A and the influx of that, and teams dropping down to B or playing wherever, I kind of wanted to just kind of throw out this whole A discussion because I think Rampage, despite not playing in the A division, is the best team in the D and B, period.
Appreciate that. Thank you. I mean, we trying to prove it. We're not tooting our own horn. We got a lot of people that don't like us and stuff like that. But all we're going to do is keep winning and stacking trophies. Y'all can keep hating and keep not liking the Rampage. We lose players, but as you can see, we lose players. We get players, and the train still don't stop. We still stacking trophies.
And that's what Rampage has done. Yeah. Like, we go back to that Hagerstown tournament in 2018 that you played. They won that one. After that, you go and look around. Virginia Beach, runner up to AFN in 19. From there, you guys tried A in Charm City Classic 19.
Well, we lost to the Dogs twice. We lost to the Dogs. That's the only team we lost to.
And that's the crazy part. Like, that's a hard draw right off the bat. That was the summer of Birdman. That was run where they were the 3 straight A championships.
Yes.
And you take a look back at it. Your memories of facing off against Strong Island at Charm City 19.
I mean, I got some couple memories. That O-line, they got some big, nice physical O-line. Like, I play D-line, so I'm in the trenches. I'm only 170 pounds. So anybody that play O-line is technically bigger than me, but they bigger and stronger, and their feet work as fast. And Birdman, I like his swagger. I like how he boastful. He on the field. He everything you want in a quarterback on the field. He leading the team. He not quiet. He everything you want in a quarterback. But like I say, playing against him, for me, that was my first time playing against a high-power team like that. It was a good experience, good learning point. I took a lot of things away from it. But like I say, that's the only team we lost to when we played in the tournament, when we played the 8 bracket in Charm City. That's the only team we lost to. I believe we beat every other team we played in the tournament that year, in the 8 tournament.
Definitely not a catch.
Yeah, can we say catch or no catch on Travis Hale there?
That's a catch.
That's a catch. He got 3 feet down. That's a catch. He got 3 feet down. I would say
Can't
that's
say
a
it's
catch.
a catch. It's a catch.
And there's no disrespect to those teams because they were in a dogfight. But I mean, I've only been playing flag for I think maybe a year and a half now with Rampage, and from what I know about the Scorpions since I've been here is when it comes down to it in the red zone type situations, game type situations, they're looking to throw the ball to Travis. Travis is the guy who's going to make the play to win a game, and you're up by 3, overtime. There's one guy that I'm thinking of that's probably going to get the ball towards the post. I don't know what was going on over there, but, I mean, first play, your chance to win it, and, I mean, he walked into the end. There was nobody within 5 yards. I don't know. That was disappointing. I mean, I remember watching from the sideline. I couldn't believe it. I don't know if I was disappointed or mad or I don't know what it was, but I could not believe it. You just let him just walk straight in. Even if he didn't catch it, called a touchdown anyways. That was just bad. I don't know.
Fair enough.
I don't know. It was just rough. I couldn't believe that. But at the same time, shout out to the Titans though, because those dudes, I mean, Scorpions are what, four-time back or something? They 4-peated in this league?
6 or something like that.
Something crazy like that. And
Yeah.
they took the defending champs, to what, 3 or 4 overtimes? I mean, they're definitely on the, on the right path. They're doing something right over there.
They definitely have turned the corner this year, and they are playing arguably the best ball they had in a long time. In my opinion, I've seen. I haven't watched it for long. Called them a few years ago when they won Hagerstown back in 2016. That was the very first time I saw the Titans. They beat the talented Red Knights team in that championship. They seem like they always been competitive. But I feel like with Doc, they've gone to the next level. And
they definitely stepped their game up.
Yeah.
Definitely stepped their game up. There's a different Titans with Doc at the helm. Different Titans.
Yeah, they got a lot of new, young, strong guys, good receivers, good corners. They're just they're building the right way.
Facts. Thoughts on this ride out game going on here?
Okay, ride out. So we kind of had a grudge against Rado because, like we said, we lost to them in Atlantic City. So we lost to them 6-2 in Atlantic City in the same type of way they gave me for the championship. So this our revenge game. We got to show them that we're better than just a 2-point team. So we came out with a mindset. We got to let them know that 6-2 win at Atlantic City was a fluke. We should have been in the championship. So we can go ahead and get rid of y'all and go to the championship where we're supposed to be at. But I'm not taking anything from Ride Out. Ride Out is a great team. They go on to come up. You can't take nothing from them. O-line, D-line. Like I said, their defense is superb. But we owed them one, and we got them.
Yeah, for this game for us was all about our offense. Obviously playing them in Atlantic City, not scoring any points. Sorry, I was watching my interception, getting excited.
Yeah, I was gonna say Craig was fired up.
Somebody was calling me a baby after. I don't like to talk a lot, but I had to make sure I proved the point.
I was just actually wondering if I was still filming when you were. It's a baby. Talk all that shit.
Hey, I'll give the dude credit. Their ride out's touchdown. He called one over me, looked down at me, called me a baby, all that stuff. He got me. So I was like, all right, this is my turn, and I proved the point and called game. But for us, it was our offense. for that ride out game. They did a great job. Came out and what was it, 14-7 or, I mean, they put up the touchdowns we needed and scored when we needed it and helped us get into the championship. So shout out, Chris and the offensive line and all the guys, receivers making plays. It was an offensive team effort.
Right off the bat in this game, Scorpions came out just with all kinds of intensity and energy. What did you guys do to slow that offense down and just take over? Because after this, it's a 25-0 Rampage.
Yeah. Okay. So we rushed for the lineman. So when we rushed for the lineman, it left the running back open. So we decided to switch from 4 D linemen and put in another linebacker to cover the running back when you like to go guard on the flanks and stuff like that, because we know that's one of their favorite plays. They like to send a running back on a out, go out and just throw in a ball and let them work the field and stuff. So we figured we switched that up and we could slow them down a little bit, and that's what we did. We switched it up, slowed it down, and our offense, like they said, our offense after that first game against Venom, our offense was on something different. Chris Price came and said, "It's not happening again." I told him, throw that out the window. Don't worry about that. You won't lead us to victory. He came out and did what we supposed to do. Our defense did what we do best. We got sacks. We slowed down Proc, kept him in that pocket, and our offense put up points and a pick 6 to seal it. And that's about right. We switched it up from a 4-man rush to a 3-man rush and decided we could put pressure on them with our 3-man rush, which we did. As you can see, we got like 4 sacks that game. So we did get pressure with just a 3-man rush while they was blocking with 3 and a tight end.
So to kind of top off what Troy's saying, we did start off, with rushing 4. We figured we rushed 4 and especially they kind of like to do the tight end and the running back type look. Figured it'd help us out a little bit. No sense of putting so many guys in the back end when they don't, when they're kind of loading the box. They did some good things that first drive. I think the first 2 plays we stopped, we held them to about, I think it was like 3rd and 15. So we thought we were doing well. And then they did a great job scheme wise. They started doing some stuff with the running back, flipping them out backside from where he lined up. Sometimes they'd throw him out in a wheel. He'd kind of come across and block and slip out. I mean, I think it was 2 plays. They beat us for about 40 yards with the running back, and then they did the same play, but then this time through the post behind it. 3 plays back to back. So
Chico on display.
Yeah, Chico was eating.
That man is the GOAT on the field. Chico is the GOAT. I'm telling you. Get that man the ball.
So after they burn us that first drive, we figured let's, what we wanted to do, and at least from my experience with these guys, is Scorpions, you can't sleep on them. Those guys will, they will grind you down, and it could be 0-0 all day, and they'll find a way to score at the end. So we just wanted to make sure we made the adjustment, keep everything in front of us, just play ball, and hopefully it all worked out for it. And ended up they scored in the first quarter and never scored again. And offense did a great job. And obviously you see us here, our man Steph finishing with a pick 6 to end it. Joe Bell's losing his mind.
My man Joe Bell.
Much respect to those guys, though. Much respect to those guys. I mean,
yeah,
this is only my second league with these guys, and both times it's us and them in the championship. So much respect to the Scorpions. And if you win 6 out of the past, whatever Troy said, I mean, they got to be doing something right over there.
Yeah, I could say this. I've been in the league for 12 years, maybe 13 years, and I think I probably beat the Scorpions twice. Even when he was back with the Rebels, I never beat him. Even when Pac was the QB of the Rebels for him. But I think I only beat the Scorpions twice, and that was my second time ever beating the Scorpions. And what way to beat a team that you can't get over? What way to beat them in a championship? The team that always have your number. What way to beat them in the championship? No other way but to go out like that. I would have wanted to no other way but to go through the Scorpions, because that's the team that we always have a problem with. We don't have a problem with no other team but the Scorpions, and that was the best way to go out right there, beat the Scorpions, how we beat them in the championship game, to get that monkey off our back.
Great
I ain't
win.
gonna lie, I didn't know what ROMFFL was. He said it for about 15 minutes. I had no idea he was talking about.
I just thought he couldn't spell Rampage for a minute.
I didn't
thought
know what was going on. So, all right, shout out Joe Bell though. Shout out Joe Bell.
Shout out, Joe.
I felt bad for Joey. If anything, he was all up in Joey's camera for the last 10 minutes. I'm like, Joey might leave him.
Trophy presentation.
Yeah, he's a straight up dog.
Yeah, Joe Bell, he's one of the best nose tackles. He's one of the best nose tackles out there. I tip my hat off to him.
That's all I was gonna say about it.
The dude is a straight up monster. Hey, shout out to our guy Hey, shout out to our guy Marley Mayo on Rampage. Played with us on Warriors and Team Blunt Talk. We won Winter Killer a couple years ago. Yeah, shout out to our guy Marley. I'm glad he's been able to find a home on Rampage. I feel like he stepped his game up ever since he joined y'all. Yeah, like we happy
to have him over there.
Yeah, like I'm happy for the guy. I really am. Like he's definitely made big strides.
Marley actually played a big role for us in our championship game. I don't know if anybody really knows, but Marley was actually hurt a little bit this year. He had a shoulder issue. So I think he might have played 2 or 3 weekends with us and then couldn't play because he was injured. Played in the playoffs this weekend with us in the championship. And he actually, that game against the Scorpions, he actually played middle linebacker for us. When we went to rush 3 and we threw him in the middle, he did a great job, playing physical. Whatever we asked him to do was pulling flags, spying the back. Marley did an excellent job for us in that championship game, playing a position that he rarely played.
Let Rampage celebrate. This is their time.
Yeah, I can see how Rampage is a good linebacker.
We don't have one.
That's smart. It's really good.
We'll walk around.
Yeah,
You
it was something we normally do. But our normal linebacker, B-More, out on vacation, couldn't make it this weekend. So that was actually the emphasis of rushing 4 in the first place. Figure let our DBs play, let our D-line put an extra guy in there, let them eat all weekend. And it just, we ended up getting out of it. A couple teams were beating us a little bit, so we decided to make a switch and make it work. I'm sure it helped the D-line a little bit. They got a couple extra breathers and extra reps, but eventually in the end, it worked out. Worked out in the end. Got one.
I mentioned at the end there, we'll see you all at Tucker Road on July 11th. That'll be playoffs. Who will be your first round opponent?
Believe Dreams. I believe Dreams.
Okay.
Don't quote us on that though, but believe we owe Dream. Dream, we played Dream in Maffle and they celebrated like it was like they just won a Super Bowl or something. But they failed to realize we only had like 13 people. We didn't have our starting quarterback or anything like that. We had 3 different quarterbacks that game. And they celebrated like it was a championship. So we own one. We'll see how they celebrate when we play them in a couple weeks. See if they celebrate after the game in a couple weeks. They could quote me on that. T-Mac 5-2 D-line. Quote me on that. See y'all in 2 weeks.
Reality check kind of game. And I think that's something that Dream might need. You don't want to celebrate too early. I think a lot of teams, especially young teams, forget sometimes there's a context to certain games. Right. You got to be wary. Yeah. If the other team's dressing about 12 guys and their quarterback's not even there, you might as well.
They barely beat us. They got help with the referees to beat us. They barely beat us without our starting QB and everything like that and help with the ref. So imagine we were going to do to them with our 4 squad, our starting QB and everything like that. We'll see them in 2 weeks. We definitely owe them one.
Ooh, all right. I'm looking forward to this matchup. We're going to be live for that one. We're going to be heading down the Tucker Road. We as in me. I don't know about him. You're always 50-50. I know you're busy. Probably not from him.
I'll be too.
Yeah, you need some time off. You got a busy schedule. Yeah, I'll be down there. I'm ready for it. Rampage and Dream should be a good game. The differences so far between both leagues, playing back in OMFFL versus playing in MAFL.
The referees. I don't think the referees in MAFL like us. That's just a couple of our honest opinion. Because every time we play up there, there's a game-changing call that changed the whole outcome of the game. I mean, you could call a couple plays mistakes, but you don't call a play that can completely change the outcome of the game completely. That shouldn't even have been called, but that's neither here or there. We just can't have a game that close and leave it in the ref hands to change a game like that. We just got to put our foot on that throat from beginning to end and don't leave it in the ref hands, whether they make a bad call or not.
Understandable.
You also got to realize when you play, Rampage been playing Owings Mills football for how long now? Before, and then it was Essex. So when you play all those teams that you see on a regular basis, you kind of start to see what you're working with, who you're playing against. Jump into MFFL where you don't play those guys as often as you would. You only see them when you're in tournaments, whether it's local or nationals. Definitely is a different feel for that too.
Yeah, I understand that 100%. And, you guys be going down there. It's essentially going to be a road game for Rampage, going to a different environment at Tucker Road. You guys are used to playing down there, but let's be real, Baltimore, OMFFL, that's more so your home. However, let's go back to a memory of Rampage. One that happened on Tucker Road the last time I actually stopped by there. We got to go back to 2019, just before we knew about what was going to happen a few months later, prior to Nationals. We had the Capital Classic, which quite a tournament looking back. The Mud Bowl, essentially, the heavy rain that fell on Saturday, causing a lot of issues for Sunday. But Rampage, despite the conditions, came out there and played in the A bracket that one, facing off against the Maryland Bullets, and in this case, 7-point spread in the championship. Let's go ahead, fast forward to it, looking back to it. Rampage, 7-point spread. Here we go.
This old school. It's before my time.
Yeah, I remember this. I was there. I remember this.
Yep.
10-point spread in the championship. We beat them.
The last time a DMV team won an A championship at any circuit tournament was in this game here when Rampage took on 7-point spread. Memories of this tournament, a Capital Classic. This is I think it's a long take. Let me fast forward it. There we go. Smyrie out there for 7-point.
I mean, one thing I do remember, Rashad Cannon being injured before the game. Though he got injured the game before that, before PME played us. I forgot who they played against, but he got injured and he split his lip, so he couldn't play. He couldn't play that game. So that's one thing I do remember about that one of their D linemen not being able to play, one of their best defensive players not being able to play that game.
Yeah, that was a pretty big loss for them. And Rampage, you guys overall held up extremely well against their defense in this game completely, putting up 21 points on offense by the end of it, with a kick return as well at the very end. How much do you believe that factored in the loss of Rashad coming in? Because you see the difference in 7-point. They go against other teams up in the A bracket. They always play up to it. Nationals, that defense was not their weakness. That defense was keeping them in every game they were in the Nationals.
Yeah, I mean,
I do believe overall Rampage was the better team that day, by far still.
Correct.
But
I mean, when you lose a big piece like Rashad, you can't replace him no matter who you stick in there. So them losing Rashad, I don't think that it would have changed the outcome of the game too much. It probably been a little different, but it wouldn't have changed. Believe we still would have won because, like you said, we was the better team coming into that tournament. Nobody thought we was the better team except for us. Like we said, we had picked up a couple pieces for the tournament. Dion Page and Shaq, the Bullets tried to roster check us and everything like that.
Yep, I remember Mudgeon's roster check.
Yeah, so they all tried to roster check us and everything like that because they didn't want them to play on team. So we're having them two, we're having Dion and Shaq on our team, that upgraded our defense a lot. So I knew coming in right there, he was a high favorite. Then we already had a good offense and a good defense. By adding them two to the defense and a 7-point losing Rashard, that gave us a good chance to win.
This is a classic. This is low key one of my favorite tournaments that I went to.
As Dion, being Dion, right there.
Uh-huh.
Who won this game?
We did.
We won it.
we
This
did.
was the A championship.
That was a crazy question.
I didn't know. I wasn't there.
Come on,
Yeah,
Greg.
we won the A championship.
It's before my
Yes,
time.
sir. We won that right before you came. Right before you came.
Yeah, Chris about 235 in this. Jeez.
Yeah. And it was cold too. It was cold. You said with hoodies and stuff on.
Yep.
So it wasn't hot as it was out there, out like it is now.
No, this was so Saturday, right before we went 2-0, it was pouring down rain all day. And if you know anything about Tucker Road, you know once it gets a little bit of rain, it's nothing but mud the rest of the day.
At least you weren't on field two. Field two, there were at least 3 ponds developing the whole day. It was bad. Like the ponds were at least like 2 or 3 feet deep in places.
Hey, there's our boy Carter playing center, our stand-in center.
Yeah, big 18-year-old, but he could block.
Yes,
Never
he
seen
could.
a little kid that small that could be blocking some nose tackles that's 200 pounds bigger than him and actually standing and blocking in the hole in his own.
He stepped up in a big way.
There's Steve.
Yes, he did.
That's Steve kicking?
Yeah, he blew his
Yeah,
Achilles.
that's Steve kicking. For sure.
He must have been hurting.
He's hurting still.
I'm just kidding. Shout out to Steve. Sorry, Steve. Don't
I was
cut
about to say, I think he was in a boot shortly after this.
Nah, don't say sorry. You just-
Yeah, he was in the boot after this. I mean, like you can see, it was definitely a good game. Definitely a good game. Like I say, when we go up against a team, they don't never think we're going to beat them or anything like that. They always think, "Oh, y'all the Rampage. We're going to smash y'all. We're going to do this. We're about to blow y'all out." I keep telling people, if you look at our team, we're not the same team.
no.
We're
And then
not the same team that.
you look at that, like we don't ever play a team like 7-point spread. We don't see them ever.
Right, so they don't know how we play, opposed to a team that we play in a regular season or always in a tournament. If we 9 times out of 10, if we play a team that never played it before, 9 times out of 10, Rampage gonna come out victorious. 10
This-
times out of 10. Especially a team we never
Is this
played
the
before.
quarterback that came out with the no mercy this year?
No.
Yeah, that's the quarterback that was running his mouth. Yeah, that's the quarterback that was talking a whole bunch of shit about us on the chat.
Yes, my room.
Man page.
Oh, okay.
Yes, sir.
He was their quarterback when they won A Nationals in 2017, just about 3 years prior.
Yeah. Samir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's him. He's a good quarterback. I can't take nothing from him. He's a good quarterback.
Yeah, he actually does a really good job in this game. This is a replay of, I guess, the flag being pulled. He does get it. The rolling on the field here was that it was pulled down, but on the replay, he gets it right off. Price does. Just like one of those misses, just a really close miss there.
One of them Sunday night games.
Big
Lights
game.
on, under the light.
I like that a lot about this tournament was the fact that you have a night championship. I always feel like that adds a lot to a tournament when you're able to play under the lights. Yeah. At least
It's like we undefeated under them lights.
that is true. Thinking back to it, I can't remember the last time Rampage lost in prime time. Yeah. They got the win here.
Championship time under them lights. We show out.
You know what's crazy to think about? That OC game we did with Rampage Baez drew the highest Facebook Live rating I ever did. We were at least at 250 viewers at the beginning of that game.
It was Sunday night game, no other football on. Flag football,
Was,
Sunday night
yeah.
flag football. What's better than that? 10 o'clock at night. Sunday
I like-
night flag football.
I like that Sunday night 9 man. That's
Uh-huh.
a big spring thing.
Yeah. Especially when there's no football going on and there's really nothing on Sunday night. You know, that could be something to do. Sunday night football, Sunday night flag football. Nah, man.
I love that. Some like find a way to get like a really big matchup somewhere. Have it
Yeah.
broadcasted. I think it'd be a lot of fun.
Uh,
I see that being the future. They did that with GCFFA's B playoffs last week. They played on Friday night. They did a triple header up there. I think that's something that you'll definitely see a lot of leagues trying and doing over the next few years, because a lot of guys are open to playing more than just one day. The old train of thought was, well, we'll just play Sundays or we'll just play Saturdays, depending on where you were from. And
right.
and nowadays, guys are open to just playing anytime there's an available time slot. There's people looking for weekday leagues. They're looking for Friday night leagues, Saturday, Sunday leagues. Anywhere you can get the bump, you go out and get it. And Rampage has done that all year. I believe they have played the most games out of any team in 9-man flag football. I know it's close between them, the Tri-State Spartans, and the No Mercy Scorpions. All three of them participating in 2 leagues this season, and 9-man as well as playing circuit ball. But overall, Rampage has played the most and come out so far as the best, in my opinion, through the end of this month.
And you got to think we playing 3 games a week. That's why when we play tournaments and it's Sunday, Monday day, we got to play 3-4 games. That's why we're not tired, because we're used to playing 3 games a week on one day every week, opposed to a team that's probably only playing 1 or 2. We play 3 every week, so we conditioned and we're ready to go the distance, whether it be 3 games, 4 games, 5 games. We also have people that if one guy's tired, we also have confidence that the next man up to do the job just as well as the man that's tired and got to sit out, or a man that gets injured. We thought as though we have depth like that the next man up could do just as great of a job as the man that's not in. We unselfish. We don't mind substituting. And then that's one thing about the Rampage. We have a big family. We unselfish, and we don't mind guys coming out, because you're coming out and production is not being lost when somebody great comes out. You put another great player in. It's not a downgrade. So we firing on all cylinders, and we hope to keep this going in the Nationals. Our ultimate goal is to go down to Nationals and come home as beat national champ. That's the ultimate goal. All this right here is just a warm-up and preparation for our ultimate goal. And our ultimate goal is to win B National.
And I believe this team is on pace to be in a position to do such this year. I believe this is the year of Rampage so far. We talk about the momentum they had in that fall of 2019. I had an opportunity to see them at Clash of York when TBT, our team.
Yeah, we lost to y'all the first game on Saturday. Yeah, I remember. And on Sunday, we were the lowest. We were the lowest. I think we was number 11 or 12, and ended up winning the championship the next day. Ended up winning the championship the next day. But yeah, but remember, y'all got us, and a lot of our guys wasn't there. But it was a good game. You definitely got us good. I remember.
It cheated.
Good game, Joey. Good game.
Thank you. That meant a lot, because I remember that York team we put together was almost impossible for that Saturday. We only had 12 guys committed at about 8:00 that morning heading to York. And I had no idea what to expect. We had Chris Boone. That was the biggest key. Chris Boone and TJ Williams.
Yep.
Both stepped up in that game. We're going old school. Here we go. TBT and Broadaxe. We had just beaten Bullets about a minute earlier, right off the gate. Like, Price misses a lot of opportunities in this game. That was one of the bigger keys. Chris had a lot of chances, but it seemed like there was a lot of misses going on the offensive side.
Was that Nas from No Mercy?
Yep.
Yeah, he was with us. Yes, sir.
Nice. DC. Yep. Jay Black right there.
Missing a whole bunch of history of Rampage.
Yes, sir. That was a good game. That was definitely a good game. Y'all gave it to us though. Y'all definitely deserve that win that y'all got.
That means a lot.
Yeah, but you know, Saturday really don't count. Money day is what really count. No matter what season, as long as you make it the money day, that's when you gotta bring. You gotta make sure you got your army there. That's the day that matters. That money day.
And the crazy thing is, day two, we came with a lot of dogs on day two. We had our whole
Yes.
yeah.
Yes, you did.
What killed us was the Blackhawks game. We just made too many mistakes in that one, and it was a lot of inexperience that came into play in that Blackhawks game late. When we, yeah, Clash of York 1 was a rough tournament. They've done a lot better. I thought 2 was actually a big improvement over 1.
Yes.
This one was a wild tournament, and this was actually a wild game between you guys and us. Like I just remember getting that draw of you guys and Bullets and just being like, this is a big jump from playing like the KFFL teams we had just played like a month earlier in our first tournament.
Right. League ball and tournament ball is completely different.
Exactly.
Different. Circuit ball is completely different. It's nowhere near the same. Can't even compare the two.
Yeah, and what helped was we had a lot of guys who had been on that A circuit with Chris Boone, Cannon Hall, AJ Reynolds, TJ Williams, top the board. He had played with Boone for years. You weren't in this game, so don't look at me. Ross was doing something else that day. I know Steve was out too, so I was missing my coach, and you guys were missing Steve. So we were even in that.
We was missing a whole lot of people on that Saturday. We was missing about a good probably like 8 people on that Saturday.
And that's the thing, like neither of us were really at full strength, and this ended up being a really good game out of it. Like it felt like a Sunday game between both sides.
Like I completely agree.
Yeah.
Always like going against Croydon. Croydon's a dog. Every play you knew
If I'm not mistaken, I believe we lost our next game too. If I'm not mistaken, I believe we went 0-2 on this day.
Yeah, you guys, I believe, lost the Bullets in the first game.
Yeah, we went 0-2. That's why we was the number 11 seed or the number 12 seed. Matter of fact, I still have the banner of us winning in my closet. I still have the banner of winning Clash of York 2 in my closet.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I saved it. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go get it real fast. Give me 1 second. Where that banner at, baby?
There are so many chances. This was a very, I actually am proud of the guys we had, and a lot of them played with our local flag team too, coming out there getting experience. Yeah, like we were, and it was good. Our guys had that experience to play against you guys, and I was really happy to see them get that.
Do you see it?
Let me actually stop sharing. Go ahead, start talking.
This it right here. Do you see it? This the banner.
Yeah. Oh, let me see if I can highlight that real quick. Let me spotlight it perfectly. There we go. That was Clash of York 1 banner. That bracket hurts. That Blackhawks game still hurts to read. That's actually one of the most painful losses I had, honestly. Yeah, like I knew the Renegades game was going to be tough no matter what, and I do think Rampage and championship, that was no cakewalk there at all. We would have been in for a fight, but looking back at it, you look at the teams alone in this, like it is a stacked tournament for outside of the 2 random York teams and Impact and Appleby. You got a pretty stacked tournament on terms of who's in here. You throw in Bullets and Titans. That was the first game right off the gate that morning. That's a tough draw for both sides right out the gate. Then you throw in, I'm trying to see in there, Blackhawks and Raiders. That was a physical one. Rampage Baez. The home team in the first round. Wow.
That gusto line and Rampage game, man, that was a thriller right there. That was a thriller. We were scoring back and forth, and we ended up winning, I believe, on the last touchdown or something like that against Gusto Land.
You guys had a great weekend, and I feel bad because like we were on the opposite field. So like after we lost, I didn't want to go back to filming, and Unfortunately, I missed out on that Rampage Gusto game. That's one of my biggest regrets in missing is that one. That was a battle. That whole bracket is awesome.
We started drinking beer.
Yeah, we were just done. We were done. And then you guys had a run with BC Elite. Let's go to your teams. Your thoughts on why AFFL's teams in Baez and Gusto, because Baez and Gusto will be both in Charm City Classic. Baez making the jump to A bracket. That's going to be intriguing to see. I'm kind of wondering how they make the transition. What do you guys think of Baez jumping to A?
I mean, Baez, like I said, Baez is a great team. We played Baez probably like 3-4 times, but we have never lost to Baez. They have a good physical line, and I know they have a new QB, tall, slinky dude. He's going to be something special. Their new QB that they had in Ocean City, that tall dude. I have never seen him be that QB for probably once before, but I think they're going to do something special. And A, like I said, the only difference between A and B is the churches, and Baez has some good linemen, especially that one. What's his name? Earl, Big Earl. He's a monster. You feel me? So they have some good trench dudes. That's the only thing that matters. If you got good trenches, and your offense can put up points, you can do anything.
I can't wait to see how they're going to measure up. Like, that's going to be the biggest thing, is seeing how they play against the established A teams here in the DMV, as well as the North teams coming down. Gusto Land, you just showed on that bracket, they've been a little absent since really last Clash of York. Because last Clash of York, they went 2-0 on day one. They beat the
lost on day two.
Yep, Baez auto right out the gate. That's we always say you don't want to draw a local team as your first
on
game.
the second day.
Yeah, like in
Not at all. Not at all. That's the worst.
Yep.
The local teams know you.
Exactly. Like Ross, you were there when Baez played Gusto, and you yourself said that was a chippy game from start to finish. It was. That you told me like it felt like an old high school rivalry game breaking out.
Exactly what it felt like. At that old like high school feel.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how to do Clash of York 3. They're going to be doing that on September 23rd, I believe. I can't wait to see how they get improvements on that. But you look back at that Gusto Land in that early 2019 year, they played right out in day one of that tournament in their very first 9-man game off the gate and beat Rideout. Fresh had a Rideout winning Charm City Classic B. And then went on after that. They beat the Raiders. And then they draw you guys in that shootout. It was back and forth. From there, they actually went and played in the KFFL Winter Chiller against one of the many versions of the Misfits. But in particular, this one with a very loaded squad that they had at that time. But it's always going to be loaded when the Misfits bring guys out. You know they're going to bring out some weapons. That game was a shootout, 25-19. After that, they kind of started doing other stuff. Like they appeared in 7-man for XFFL. They did FFWCT 8-man. Clash of York, they got smacked by Baez on day 2 at the end. It's been a while, but they'll be back for Charm City Classic. It's almost been a year. Do you think Gusto Land can bring the same kind of swagger and energy they had in that 2019 fall time period? Because we did see their quarterback, Champ Moore, play for 717 Elite in Ocean City, but 717 and Gusto are not 100% the same teams.
I mean, Baez has some of Gusto Land offensive line. Are they going to have? Is Gusto Land going to have a different offensive line, or are they going to have Baez Auto's offensive line? You see what I'm saying?
I believe Earl Leonard is back to Baez 100%. I think that's something that was confirmed at their OC. Was that he's
right
back
there.
to Baez, yeah. If you get Big Earl, yeah.
Yeah, so I can't say how Gusto Land going to do because you don't know about their offensive line. They can have the wide receivers, they can have the QB, they can have the defense. But if you don't have that offensive line that can protect your quarterback playing an A, it's not going to work. So I can't really give my opinion on that until I see what type of offensive line they got. But if they go into A with no offensive line, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
I think they
And
went
Big Earl not going, that's a big loss with Big Earl.
I think they're going to come locked and ready to go. You got to think like it's going to be a close drive. I believe it's about an hour from York to Essex, so that's going to be practically a home tournament.
Yeah, you're right, but you got to also think league ball different from tournament ball. If you bring in people that ain't played on that big stage yet or something like that, you don't know how they're going. You don't know how they're going to. You want proven players, not players that you just got, like you say. Gus O'Leary ain't played football in a while. So you want to bring players that's unproven or players that haven't played in a while to a tournament playing A. You see what I'm saying? Where's the chemistry? Where's the continuity? You see what I'm saying? You got to have all that. You just can't jump in like that.
I agree 100%. Like it's very hard to make that transition, especially when you go against the teams that are in A. And we see it every year at nationals. A team will come out from the outside and throw a team in A, and no one knows anything about them. Like we had I believe Syracuse Vikings a few years ago come in the nationals. I'd never heard of them before, never saw them after. That's what they were called. I know Texas tries to put a team in, but they tend to struggle against a lot of the teams down the A bracket, which it doesn't help that you only get that exposure once a year.
Right.
Then you got to look at the fact that when you look at the A division alone, I mean, most of those teams in the A are all Greater Connecticut flag football.
Yeah.
So they all know each other. So come national time, when they get some DMV teams that they see every once in a while, like you said, the Texas teams once in a while, now it definitely changes a big portion from there.
Yeah.
You know,
and I think the biggest
guys,
thing about go ahead.
I was gonna say at least those guys, you know, the Strong Island guys, main event guys, they come down to Baltimore for the local tournament, you know, for our local tournament. Those other guys don't make that trip. So at least they get to see what they're working with down here. Them other guys have no clue until it's game day.
Facts. Absolute facts. And I think when you take a look at it, we're in a strange time in 9-man where teams are just kind of springing up from other styles, finding enough capable linemen to play on a level and being able to sneak into tournaments and win. We go back to what Empire did at AC, where they literally came out of nowhere, beat 2 veteran teams in Nomads and Rideout, and ended up winning that tournament in what was their first ever 9-man beat. We go back to what Adrenaline Rush did in 2017 in Hagerstown when they won the A division of that tournament, beating 7-point spread. The same year, 7-point won the A national title with a lot of 7 points guys up there. It's something where some teams are able to catch teams off guard because nobody knows anything about them. If I asked you guys about Empire prior to AC, what would you be able to tell me about it?
Who was Empire? Who? Never heard of them a day in my life.
I remember that game between Empire and Top Dog on the schedule, and I was like, Empire and what? It's just teams are popping up now, left and right.
We got guys that are coming from 8-man, 7-man, 5-man. They see all the videos. They see, you know, some former NFL guys. They see all this real physicality of 9-man. When you go from 9-man to 8-man or to 5-man, and the contact, when you say contact, not the same once you hit 9-man. I mean, my first time ever playing contact flag, it was 9-man with a loaded explosion team, and I got blown up on the first play. I was like, all right, I was not expecting that at all. But I was with it. I'm like, all right, cool. If it's really like that, I'll keep playing. But these guys want to play that. Got a lot of young guys that want to play that big body type, you know, the lineman, the D line. But it hits you different once you actually get out there on that field and you line up with some of these guys.
Yeah, it's a whole other ball game, and a lot of guys don't realize that when they go up against them. Like, I go back to when I watched Main Event versus Dream at AC, and the one thing that really was startling was
a lot of the big linemen that Dream had to me, those are big guys to me. Those are linemen. But then when they line up against main events linemen, it's like, whoa, okay, it's different.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yep.
They like NFL size linemen out there.
One of them is a former NFL lineman.
Yeah, they're on a level that a lot of guys aren't accustomed to facing. And we see
Correct.
firsthand, like a lot of what determines a guy's ability to play is how they play, what kind of talent they play against. Do they come from an area where there's not enough talent where they face anybody? What kind of style they come from? How will they measure up? And when you go out there and play on that A bracket, borderline pro level, it's a reality check. And a lot of guys don't typically handle it well. Whether it be the psychological pressure, which I saw Dream just get beaten mentally and physically in that first half by main event. They bounced back and they almost pulled within a score at the very end. It was 21-12 was the final. But for the first half, main event it was like watching a Bill Belichick Patriots team going against a young offense, to describe the least of what I was watching in that first half. It's like watching Belichick and Brady roll up against a young team.
Yeah, I mean that's a big factor. And then when you got a veteran quarterback like main event, I'm assuming had Mike.
Yep.
Yeah, you're talking about a guy that's been in this league, that's played every A team you can see. I mean, that's a different animal too. And his O-line knows what he likes to do. He wants to throw to. They know all that. If you go against that and you're not expecting it, he's gonna have a field day with you.
Facts, absolute facts. But I'm really looking forward to seeing what's going to happen with this summer coming up. We mentioned the MAFL playoffs. That'll be about 2 weeks. You guys will be possibly facing Green from the sound of things. I think that's going to be an extremely good and competitive game. Definitely looking forward to that rematch. We'll be live for that one. I haven't had much of an opportunity to catch Green outside of AC, so I'm really looking forward to seeing them in person. I'm also taking a look at where everything is going. Charm City Classic, that's coming up. There's going to be a lot of teams in there. I think they're up to about, let me try to pull up an update. Always try to give an update on that tournament, because that tournament to me is going to be essentially the mid-season nationals of 9-man flag football, with just the caliber of talent alone that's going to be there. And the representation you're going to see all across the 9-man game. We already saw the other day, St. Louis is coming up. Our guys Skinny and Preston, Show Me Football, they're going to be putting their team in the B bracket for Charm City Classic. So you take a look at that. You look at the teams from the north coming down. The only one not entering is the Lions. Tough travels. It doesn't help. You have the week prior as well, where you have the Albany tournament, Lydia's Legacy. Great calls. Looking forward to that one as well. But it's always tough, 2 back-to-back 9-man tournaments. And I know AFFL is a big deal for a lot of guys after that. A lot of traveling going on. Seems to be more than ever. Flag football players are just on the road every single weekend, from either the Friday night they're arriving to the Monday they're coming home sometime. Maybe even at 2 a.m., 3 a.m. It's always a grind for the players on the field.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I'm really happy to see how things will go over the course of this summer, especially looking at Charm City. I'm trying to pull up a recent post on it. But truthfully, I like it. Like, the competition we're going to have at this tournament and what we're going to see from us here at the OMFFL is going to be something to behold. And, DMV tournaments,
we always got a lot of them. Charm City Classic to me has become the best one by far. And you look at the growth of the tournament. I was there back in 2018 over at Newtown. That was the first time I went out there. That was an absolutely phenomenal tournament, and it just has gotten better each and every year. 2019, that was really the one that stood out to me the most. This 2021 event, I believe, is going to do a lot of great things for the game, and it's going to be one to remember for years to come. And I'm really excited to see how it goes.
I completely agree.
Yeah, like it's what we've needed. Like for a bit is a big tournament like this. Ocean City, I thought was a nice bounce back. It had been a while, but Charm City, yeah, this is going to be the real deal. Looking at what they've added since last week, maybe I can try to pull up the list of teams real quick, making sure I got the screen share ready. We looked at this a little bit last week. We're going to look at your all's competition or some of the competition that you guys may have faced throughout the year. 1 second. Perfect. There we go. This is what it's looking like for Charm City Classic. You look over at the A bracket, Elite Rebels have been it, Misfits, obviously. OTF, I've been told this is the 8-man OTF playing in Charm City, which kind of threw me off a little bit. I wasn't really sure about that. That's different. I know they're competitive on that level. It's going to be an interesting transition if they're going from 8s to 9s.
Doctor, some of these teams.
What's that?
But who the hell are some of these teams? MB.
Oh yeah, this is a really random tournament. I can give you some context.
What did you just say?
OTF, the family, I guess that's who. I guess that's the family. I have no idea.
From what I've seen, is it?
Someone told me it might be like another.
I meant to tell you.
Someone told me it might be PME, which it
Yeah, I'm
has.
about to say that it might be PNB. It might
Yeah,
be
the OTF label had me thinking it was the 8-man family, and I was really thrown off seeing that. I'm pretty sure it's PME though, because I noticed those two have been going together lately. So I'm looking forward to seeing PME back in the NA tournament. We haven't seen them since Worlds.
It's all seven. Yeah. 111.
Nice. Baez, Ride Out, of course, we mentioned. Dream. FOE is kind of a random one. What do you guys think of FOE jumping to A? Kind of they've improved a lot. Like I think they made a lot of strides from last season in OMFFL. A is kind of a jump.
My bad. Go ahead. Go ahead, Joey.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Like I feel like it's a little premature on their end, but take a chance.
I mean, FOE, they're a good team. The only thing I can say is their old line do so much holding, it is ridiculous. It is crazy. Their old line do so much holding, it is crazy. But if they going to A, they're gonna get a lot of cards thrown on. I'm telling you, it's crazy. We done played them like 3 times already, and I think half our team got their jerseys ripped, half our D line got their jerseys ripped just for playing that one team.
Yikes! That's not going to bode well against the A bracket D lines. Can't do that.
Not at all. Not at all. I'm telling you, that's all they do is hold. I'm not taking enough of their quarterback. They got a nice wide receiver core, a good quarterback, but their O-line, without holding, their O-line is trash. Ain't taking nothing away from nothing else.
Damn. All right. Rollers coming back. Not sure what they're going to have. And then you got the usual suspects, main event, Punishers, SI, Gladiators. I'm not sure what Johnny has this time around. We'll see what he's got. Looking forward to seeing them back out there, though. Blazers, they're going to be back out there on the A circuit. I swear you guys played them in National. Am I crazy?
Yeah.
Okay.
We played Yeah,
They
Blazers. Yeah.
lost to them 7-6, I believe.
7-6. Your impressions on the Blazers from that game?
I mean, Rob Lane, he's one of the greatest QBs in nine, man. He found a way to get it done. Pressure, game on line. You're gonna find a way, whether it be him moving his hips, him using his feet, or him using his arm. He's gonna get the job done. He's gonna put his team in a position to at least win a game or come close to winning the game. I learned that just from playing him the 2-3 times playing him or watching video of him playing, stuff like that. He's one of the best QBs in nine, man.
Absolutely.
Going to the B bracket, 717 Elite. You guys had an opportunity to face them in Ocean City. I think it'd be a little bit of a different team. They won't have Champ Moore this time around. I'm not sure who's stepping in a QB for it. Your impressions on 717 Elite from OC?
So they put up a hard fought game. I'm not going to take nothing away from them. Like I said, I'm not going to take nothing away from any team. Not one bit. They got a good offensive line, good defensive line. I don't think they been together long enough to get that type of exposure, that type of experience that they need yet. I think that's why they keep playing these tournaments and these circuits and stuff like that. They get that exposure and get that experience so they can be a better team. But they're up and coming team. I see a great future for them.
Yeah, they definitely and playing them in Ocean City, getting to see them, they they had a lot of speed on their team, a lot of little fast DBs, a lot of fast little receivers. So once they start clicking and really getting that that chemistry down, they're going to be a good team. That's for sure. And they did have a couple of Baez Auto guys over at AC with them. I did know that. So I don't know if that's something they're going to continue to do, bring them around with them. But if they do, that's even better for them.
It would be a big help. I do think they will get a bit of a different roster this time around. That's the only thing about the YFFL guys is they will tend to just play together if need be and hop on squads if their usual team ain't available for that weekend. We've seen that at different occasions for different tournaments. Blackhawks, of course, we know them from math. What are your all's impressions on Blackhawks for this season?
I mean, Blackhawks, you can't take nothing away from Blackhawks as long as they got BJ on that defensive on that side right there. They got Tommy QB with that big healthy O line. They do some things. Like I said, they can play either A or B. They're a good team. You can't take nothing away from them as long as they got BJ, that physical side that he brings to that team. That's what they need. That sparks their defense. His trash talking, doing everything he doing that field is what they need on that defensive side. And Tommy put it together. They can do some things. They're a great team. Like I said, I believe they just won Maffle last season, if I'm not mistaken, or something like that.
Yeah.
Like I say, so they champ, they experienced, they done been in tournaments. You can't never count a team out that won league chips and done been in tournaments. You can't never count them out any given Saturday, any given Sunday.
Facts. I learned that about Blackhawks in York.
Now this next team, man, I'm not too sure about them.
Talking about Rampage. I think that's the YAFFL 8
I
man.
don't know about them. A little suspect.
Yeah, I've seen her. I'm not too impressed so far. I've seen the tape on
They're C and D line trash.
Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you.
Borough Bullies out of the XFFL.
I mean, I've seen them. Like I said, I'll be watching film when they be recording. I've seen them, but like you can't really say they're not going to do nothing because they don't have tournament experience. Because like you said, you can't say that because look at Empire. Their first time on the tournament, they won a chip. So I haven't seen them enough to say what they can do or they won't do. But any given Sunday, they might be the next Empire. Might be raising the trophy in Charm City. You never know.
That is the question. How will these XFFL teams make the transition from their normal style of 7-man up there to 9-man? So far, Empire has shown it's definitely possible. And I'm looking forward to seeing how this Borough Bullies team makes the transition themselves. Of course, we take a look. We all know the league teams: Titans, Venoms, Bulls, Bad Boys. AFN jumping in. They were working. Them and Petty have been working something now. They got something going on for tournaments right now. There's no Team Petty on that B list. Looks like them and AFN are riding together going forward. What do you guys think of AFN and Petty somewhat joining forces?
I mean, you got if you got AFN with a healthy trail at QB and a good solid O line, can't ever definitely count them out. Especially if they get some of Petty's O line, some of their DBs. You're talking about a pretty stacked little.
Yeah, 100%. And I did see they did have Battle too out there at AC. Battle did come out there play some QB as well, so the options are definitely there. And you look at the leadership, and they were creative at AC. That offense had a spark to it and was moving the ball extremely well. They fooled the Rebels a couple times on on a play where that they just had it lined up a certain way that they didn't see it coming. I'm not trying to give it away at all. You'll see it on the video if you watch it live. But it was creative, and creativity is something that's lost sometimes in strategy when it comes to the sport. A lot of teams just don't get creative enough. Going down the list, Riot Squad. You guys faced them over in Atlantic City. Your impressions of Riot Squad?
Craig, brother man.
The only team we lost to in Atlantic City was Ride Out. So, I'm be honest, I'm still kind of fresh. So a lot of the team names you guys are rolling with, I didn't even remember we played them.
Riot Squad we played Saturday with Bloodline.
That was the team that BJ was on.
Okay. Yeah. I know BJ. So I don't know much of them. I know we played.
That was the check my resume game. Just so you know, that was the check my resume game.
Oh, okay. Dylan helps me out a little bit when there's a team talking trash, and then that's how I remember.
I got you. That's how
I remember them. I mean, they're a competitive team, but like Troy keeps to mention is a lot of these guys, I'm sure they're trying to work and get better behind the scenes. So when they show up, they can try to show out as best as they can. So it's a tournament. So we'll see how if they improved or declined by the time they get out to come see us again.
Looking forward to seeing how they come out. Riot Squad's been a team that has shown they could definitely compete at a high level in B, but they just have not been able to get the deal done on Sundays. And a tough loss to Baez all the way out the gate. I think inexperience got them there. Baez kind of surprised them a little bit and took that defense that was doing extremely well with X-Dogs and Blackhawks the day prior, just gave it to them on that second day. You go back, Gusto Lamb, we already talked about them. Tri-State Spartans, runner-up in Washington County over the weekend. They lost at the very end of Broad Action 21-18. We mentioned them on the list of teams that have played the most games of any nine-man team this year. They're up there with Rampage and No Mercy in that category. They have had potential. They played Bad Boys tough. We know about them. We've already talked about them enough. We'll see how they do. DX. I actually had a chance to see them. They're from New Era Flag Football up in New York. They play out in Queens. But I can't really make an evaluation. You guys know anything about DX?
Never even heard of them. That's a new team.
Look forward to playing them. If we get a chance, look forward to it.
I'm hoping NWO from AC jumps in and we get a DX NWO matchup on day one. Just one of those random matchups. Dirty Birds, you guys have played them a good bit, and they've been one of those teams that's very competitive with you guys every single time.
Both of the past tournaments we played the Dirty Birds. It's exhausting playing those guys in the first day, elimination day, and it's 7-6 or 14-7 or 7-0. They are a very scrappy, competitive team. I think they have some they have a little puzzle on offense they need to figure out. They got a stud at quarterback. You know, I think the kid can run around and make a bunch of plays. I just think a little bit scheme wise, they seem a little confused sometimes. Sometimes I feel like it's just snap go and just let the kid run around for his life.
That literally is how it felt like Washington against you guys.
Yeah, I mean, you know, again, I never talk bad about any other team, but I remember we played against them. I mean, we were down in the fourth quarter. I think they might have completed 2 passes and both of them to the running back.
And
We
it's
might
great
have had.
that the defense is definitely there. That defense has been fire against you guys. It's played you guys tough each
Yeah,
time.
their defense, they're young. They play fast. You know, they do the little things really good. You know, they're really good at not cutting people loose. You know, normally they're in the spots they need to be. But I like how they play fast. You know, on defense, one of our guys catches the ball, there's someone there, or you know, hauling ass to get there. So I respect those guys a lot.
Yeah. And I'm looking forward to seeing them back out there at Charm City. Let's see, will it be a round 3 between Dirty Birds and Rampage?
Not for the first game. Not for the first game. Maybe the second or third. Not the first one.
Playing Sunday. We're playing
It
Sunday.
didn't help either that they didn't even really have a match against Steel at that 8 a.m. kickoff because Steel only dressed 8 and their entire roster was out of position.
Jesus Lord.
Yeah, and so that game was done within 26 minutes. And so they had a warm up, and that's all they needed to go against you guys. And I think that helped them stay fresh because they didn't have any real comp in that first game. Just enough to get warmed up, ready to go, and be prepared for a later kickoff against a team they already were familiar with, having played you guys at OC.
Rampage definitely getting there on time, doing all that. Our lovely coach Steve Winter makes sure he emphasizes that every day.
Yeah. New York Rebels, my guy Israel Belota, he's up there. He's a quarterback, he's coach, he's videographer. They play up in New Era flag football. They actually put up a fight at day 1 against AFN and played the Dragons very well. I'm looking forward to see how they grow. That was their first 9-man circuit tournament. The potential was definitely there. Boys from the Bay. I have no idea about the Boys from the Bay. Y'all know the Boys from the Bay?
Never heard of them.
We still don't know what bay it is. Is it Green Bay? Is it Tampa Bay? Is it Golden Bay? Is it the Chesapeake?
Chesapeake. Only bay that matters.
Let's see where the Boys of the Bay are from, or from the Bay, or wherever they're from. I don't know. Nomads, we know about Nomads by now. They're always going to bring out a tournament. That's a team that people still sleep on despite knowing better at this point. Yeah, they're always going to be competitive, always going to be tough. Looking forward to seeing them back out there. Southside, you guys have played them in Maple. Your impressions of Southside?
We haven't played them yet. We never. I don't believe we played them at match. Yeah, we haven't played them. The game that we were supposed to play them, they got canceled.
Gotcha. We'll skip over Southside. Have you had a chance to watch them yet?
No, I haven't watched any of their games yet neither.
Gotcha. They're still a little foreign to me too. So I can't really speak on them. Baltimore Spartans. If this is the same Spartans,
I believe so. Yes, I believe so. That's the same Spartans that's coming back. Don't quote me on that, but I believe that's the Spartans that the Baltimore Spartans that was part of the league that disbanded, and I believe they're coming back. But don't quote me on that.
Oh, okay. That's big. Because I was wondering if that might have been the same one we saw at Westminster when they did Nitro back in March. Because that was a 8-man squad that had 9-man linemen playing. Like the size and caliber was definitely 9-man level. And I even said to you, Ross, that I feel like this was a 9-man team, more so than an 8-man team looking at them. And so if it's that sort of taking the guys and what you're saying is right, then I'm looking forward to seeing them out there in Charm City. That might be a team I'd sleep on, honestly.
If it is them, it's definitely good to have them back. You know, more 9-man teams, more the merrier. just keep growing. If they back, I'm happy.
Facts.
There's another team added to our league in OMFFL. There's another team added to the circuit. Like I said, the more the merrier. It helps us in the long run.
I agree with that 100%. Apex Dragons, I saw them at AC. They put up a pretty good fight in day one, beating the Rebels and beating the Long Island Demons. They definitely shown they compete. Looking forward to see what they got come this tournament. Their quarterback, Tony, I think his name is, he's very underrated. He is a guy to look out for if he comes out there for Charm City. Jets, I think this is the Jets team that was supposed to join OMFFL at the start of the season. I think they weren't able to put together a squad. Someone told me this is the One Motion group. Am I wrong on that, or am I hearing right, or who are they?
I'm not sure. I'm just hoping that they could. I hope they don't look like the Jets from the NFL.
They were one of the teams that was supposed to join with Owings Mills right when they were about to start. Just like they couldn't fill the team at the I'll be there, and then so they had to forfeit out.
Gotcha. Last team is Outcast. Anybody know anything about Outcast?
Yeah, Andre 3000.
Yeah, that's the only answer I had to.
Welcome to the tournament.
That's good. That's good. A lot of new teams that never been a part of the circuit. That's a good thing right there.
I like it too. I think it's going to do nothing but help grow the game. And I'm looking forward to seeing how Charm City Classic goes. I'm hoping the other league champions, Broad Axe and Killer Bees, find a way to make it out there as well. I think we got about 2 spots open, maybe one more to go. I really look forward to Charm City. Looking forward to this summer. It's going to be awesome. We're going to have more next week. We'll be back. We're going to talk some MAPL. Gentlemen, you're welcome to come join us. We'll talk MAPL playoffs, what to expect coming in, and look forward to some coverage on Sunday, the 11th. We'll be back in action for Rampage, No Mercy, and the MAFFL playoffs. Fellas, congratulations on the championship. It's been a great run all spring. We're going to have to look at the DMV rankings in about 2 weeks when this is all said and done with MAPL playoffs coming into Charm City.
I got a hot take just came across my phone. If Rampage wins MAFL, do we go to A, Charm City?
Ooh. I mean, at this point,
I say yeah.
I say yeah too, because I think Rampage has shown they can match up with anybody in the DMV. And I've also been a guy of, I know, but it's not my team. I will say first and foremost,
Just my opinion, just our opinion.
if it's up to me, I always say go out there and play with what you got. But if you get the opportunity to play with your best against the very best, always take that chance. But at the same time, Rampage don't need to be an A team on terms of playing in an A tournament to show that they are the #1 team in the league. They have done it. They have beaten the Misfit. They've beaten No Mercy. They've beaten Elite Rebels. They're going to have a shot at Dream in a few weeks. They've beaten Rideout, who's jumping to A. They beat Baez Auto, who's jumping to A. The resume is there. Like I said, the only difference between A and B, aside from the trenches, is what bracket you're playing in. That's it. You're just choosing which one you're in most of the time.
I just like to throw a little curveball in there. You never know. We might be high on our horse, win 2 tournaments in a row, get a little excited, maybe get people to stop talking, go to the A, maybe win that one too.
I think you guys are ready, and I'm looking forward to seeing. I think it's there, but like I said, I'm not one to steer a team in one direction or another. Rampage has shown that.
I don't care either way.
Right. Rampage has shown that regardless of A or B affiliation, they are top 10 in the country. Throw that out the door. All we got are stats, facts, and scores, and right now, as we exit June and enter July, Rampage to me is the number one team in the DMV, and they are top 10 in this country.
Top 5.
Well, I don't know how many followers you're gonna lose saying that, but we appreciate that.
I'm already ready for the hate
We
mail
appreciate it.
comments, ready for the Chris
Try to get some
Davis
messages
live
in your
comment
DM. Wow.
later on. We'll hear the end of it. We'll
Chances are your show is going to be canceled after you just said that.
I mean, my show hasn't been canceled for a lot of things over the years. I don't think that's going to kill me, thankfully. Maybe. We'll see. We've survived worse things. Oh, man. But honestly, though,
I agree with top 5.
yeah, Rampage definitely has
If
that.
you do
potential.
want to do the AB thing, top 3.
You want to say top 3 beats? Okay, B teams. I was about to say, you got them above which are the North teams. It's going to be tough, though. I want to see how Rampage measures up. Right now, there are guys, they're number 1 of the DMV. If you don't like them, beat them. I've said it before. I've said it again.
Thank you. Thank you. You don't like us, beat us. And there's not a lot of teams that can beat us. So like I said before, we're going to continue to stack chips. You either with us or against us.
We're looking like a print. Like I said,
I like what this team has, and I like where it's going. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us tonight. We're going to sign off for now. We'll be back next Tuesday, same slot, inside the OMFFL MAFL Playoff Edition. Going to be awesome. Looking forward to it. We'll see y'all
Appreciate
again.
you, Joey, and everything
Thank you
do.
for having us on the show.
thank you,
Thank y'all
sir.
for coming on.